This is rice, and it's growing in Vermont.
It's not a joke, but it is very interesting.
This quarter-acre of rice in Burlington's Intervale is a pilot project of New Farms for New Americans. The program is sponsored by the Association of Africans Living in Vermont. The rice being grown here is a cold hardy Japanese variety that is well suited to Vermont's climate. University of Vermont Extension began working with New Farms for New Americans on this project in the spring.
For rice growing here in the Northeast, you do need to get a head start and plant the starts in the greenhouse at the beginning of the season. So we taught the growers how to maintain, how to manage the greenhouses. They led the way when it came to actually planting the rice starts in the greenhouse. We also worked a lot with the irrigation systems, with the water systems here. Water is obviously critical for flooded rice paddy production, so we did a lot of sort of repairs and maintenance on the irrigation systems, understanding how to use a gasoline generator pump to pump out of the river. And then we're also working through just the general agronomic variables of rice production, so whether or not it needs fertilizer, if so, what time of year does it make sense to spread it, what are the typical pests and disease challenges that we should all consider in efforts to boost yields and bring rice to the marketplace.
For all his knowledge about pests, pumps, and fertilizer, it may be Waterman who's learning the most.
They've been growing rice for generations, so they are teaching us a whole lot. We hope to be able to transfer some of that knowledge to other farmers here in the Northeast, so I look forward to that opportunity. It's building community. It's building that sense of pride and that sense of place, that sense of belonging here. So I really enjoy seeing that happen.
For the Bhutanese, rice is as much of a food as it is a cultural connection. Along with a lifetime of knowledge of how to grow rice, these farmers also continue the tradition of neighbor helping neighbor. Rita Neopaney has been living in Burlington since 2010. For her, this small crop of rice is an invitation to her fellow Vermonters.
Our community wants to show them how to grow rice in Vermont, in Burlington, and then that's locally organic rice. And then we want to show to them we are hard worker people.
Like Neopaney, Saran Chhetri is a native of Bhutan as well. He looks forward to the day when he can grow a lot more rice in his new home.
So it's about the community. This is very tiny. We did a trial, start with little. We are testing whether this variety grows here or not. Now it looks good. So if my community, helps me, we want to expand this to a lot bigger.
You know a lot about rice. You're very smart.
तपाईले धेरै धानको बारेमा जान्नु हुँदो रहेछ अरे. Yes, I know.
Bhutan is sandwiched between China and India on the eastern slopes of the Himalayan mountains. The climate of Bhutan is tropical in the south, but in the north, the valleys are hot in the summer and cold in the winters. For Indra, Khadka, Vermont's weather feels familiar.
She likes Vermont. Very nice. Very quiet and peace place. She like it.
Is it like Bhutan at all?
Bhutan जस्तो छ अरे. Little cold than Bhutan. This place is little colder than Bhutan, but it's similar.
Because this is a pilot project, the majority of the rice being harvested will be saved as seed. It's expected the yield from this quarter acre will be enough seed for 2 or 3 acres next year. Alisha Laramee is the coordinator of the New Farms for New Americans program.
It's like gold. You want to save it for the next year so that you can get a higher yield. So I think this year a small amount will be taken for folks within the community to eat. We're going to start testing some markets locally to see what kind of markets are out there and what kind of interest there is in terms of rice. And then with whatever's left over, which will probably be the bulk of what we harvest, we'll save to plant next year.
Laramee sees how this small amount of rice has a big impact when it comes to empowering this community of new farmers and new Vermonters.
I think the Rice Project has been a wonderful opportunity for members of the New American community to come to me and come to the program and say, this is what we're interested in doing, and for our program to be able to support this. It really makes for not just a community of New Americans, but a community outside of this community. So now we're reaching out to people all over Vermont and outside of Vermont too. And so I just think it's great for, I really like the partnerships that are starting to develop because of it.
Neopaney couldn't be any happier with the new friends she's made in Vermont. In fact, she's looking forward to making even more friends. And of course, growing more rice.
We want to go bigger and bigger and bigger. We will get to know each other, and we connect with the land. And then we are doing an excellent job, like first time in Burlington, rice growing, and then people love it.
America has been called a nation of immigrants. New people in a new place, here to learn and here to teach. It's an ideal world in which everyone can grow. In Burlington, I'm Keith Silva with Across the Fence.